So my background might look a little different here because we're in our new apartment. Yee! We just got the keys. I'm just sitting here on the floor, got a coffee. We're gonna do an empty Toronto apartment tour. Let's go. That's right, we are moving, and after about a month of searching, we finally found a new place. So in today's video, I thought I'd give you a little glimpse of our empty Toronto apartment. And since the common theme in this apartment tour is about simplifying and optimization, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, AG1. AG1 is a formulation of 75 vitamins, minerals, probiotics, and superfoods packed into one daily serving, all to help support your daily nutritional needs and gut health. I've been drinking AG1 every single day for over 2 years now, and the biggest thing I notice is actually if I skip a day. I feel like I experience a lot more brain fog with more energy crashes and caffeine cravings throughout the day versus when I do take it. I also notice benefits like clearer skin, my nails grow a lot faster, and, well, let's just say she's a regular queen. I really like that they're just all about simplicity, and since we're moving into a much smaller space, I like that these bags don't take up a lot of extra room, and I don't need to take a pharmacy's worth of supplements to get the same benefits. So if you've been curious about giving AG1 a try for yourself, head on over to the link in the description below for a free 1-year supply of their vitamin D K2 drops, plus these 5 super handy travel packs with your first purchase of AG1. Your support of the brands that you see on this channel supports me so I can keep making these videos. It means a lot. Thanks, AG1. So when we set out to look for a new apartment, we had a few criteria in mind, and you'll see why. This is our old place. We've been here for the last 8 years, and despite it being a little old and tired, we loved it. The place is huge, it has a ton of storage, and the rent is extremely affordable. Relatively speaking, you know. And it's in an unbeatable location. And this building had such a warm, neighborly feel. Like, we actually knew each other's names, and we loved our landlords. But the thing about those little old and tired buildings, in Toronto at least, is that many of them are doomed to be torn down and turned into condos. And that's exactly what's happening to us here. That's right, we're being demo-evicted. So despite us being excited about moving to a new place to start a new chapter, we really didn't have much choice. So that's a little bit about why we had to move and why we would leave a gem like this. But since we had no choice, we decided to take this as an opportunity to find a place where we could actually meet some of our non-negotiables. Number 1 was lots of natural sunlight. I love our place, but the only downside is how dark it gets in the middle of the day, and that's because condos went up next door to it. Basically, the fate of most buildings in Toronto. Number 2, a washer dryer. No more coin laundry. Woo! 3, air conditioning. That's right, we live without AC for 8 years.
For the rest of the summer, we can live inside the refrigerator.
4, rent control. At the time of the recording of this video, some units in Ontario, Canada are subject to rent control while others are not. I couldn't handle the unpredictability of unfixed rental increases, so rent control was a must-have. And number 5, pet friendly, because once we're settled, we're definitely getting a floof. And just to get this out of the way now, yes, we are renting, not buying. After doing the math, Jeff and I decided that renting is still the option that's most affordable and simply just makes the most sense for us right now. Renting doesn't always mean you're throwing money away. For us, it allows us to keep our living expenses within our means in the city that we live and work in, while minimizing a ton of unexpected costs, unexpected maintenance, and allowing us to save and invest the way we want to. Now for the place itself. This condo is slightly smaller than our current place at about 630 square feet. The first thing I notice about this place is how bright and airy it is, so it actually feels a lot bigger than the floor plan says. When you walk in, you have a small space to take your shoes off and hang up your coat. The coat closet is a lot smaller than in our old place, so we have to be strategic about what goes in there depending on the season. I'll definitely have to put that capsule wardrobe into practice here. I'm thinking of putting a little shelf or a narrow table here along this wall so we have a place to put our keys, or see if a little stool and rug will fit so we can sit down to put on our shoes. Stay tuned for a fully furnished condo tour. It's a beautiful open concept space that we're really excited to make home. I was really struck by the high ceilings and the minimalist design of the space overall. This is pretty typical for Toronto condos where you walk right in and you're pretty much in your kitchen. So here it is. It's pretty minimal and the counter space isn't great, but it has a surprising amount of cabinet space. The cabinets go all the way up to the ceiling, so we have plenty of room for our food, cups, dishes, and even some storage overflow since the closet space in this unit is a little tight. This will ensure the counters don't get too cluttered because that's when spaces can really start to feel messy. And we're thinking to put our little coffee station here and not much else. I also love that there are full-sized appliances here and not the dinky micro stoves and fridges you'll often see in a lot of Toronto condos. So I'm excited to get cooking. Well, for Jeff to get cooking. There isn't a ton of counter space, but there is room for a small island to fit here, so we might do that if we just find that things are a bit too tight. Opposite the kitchen is this open wall, which we're not too sure how to best utilize yet. We like the idea of keeping things pretty open and minimal, so aside from our kitchen table, chairs, and maybe a little rug, we're going to leave this space for later. Next, we'll move into the living area. For this space, we don't really plan on changing a lot from what we have in our current apartment, maybe just a new rug and a lamp. But I am obsessed with the natural light, and look at this view. And immediately off the living room, there's a sliding door to the balcony, where we essentially get a northeast to southeast view of the city. And on a clear day, you can see the lake. This is a lot higher up than we've ever lived before, so we still get a little dizzy standing out here on the balcony, but just don't look down, as they say. Directly off the living room is the bedroom. I love that it's got the big, bright floor-to-ceiling windows, which makes it feel a lot bigger than it is because it's pretty tiny. The windows have pull-down shades for privacy, but I like that they also don't block too much light during the day either, which is just great. After being in an apartment that gets dark at 2 p.m., having all this natural light is an amazing change. After doing the measurements, there's really only enough space for a queen-size bed and maybe some tiny nightstands, so we'll have to figure out what to do with our current dresser because it's just it's just way too big for the space. If you live in a bedroom that doesn't fit a dresser, leave me a comment on what your solution was. We're definitely going to be looking into underbed storage. Directly off the bedroom is a tiny little indent hallway where the two closets are. This is basically the same situation that Jeff and I had before, where I share one side and he'll share the other. But I'll definitely need to girl boss my way into a capsule wardrobe because all of my clothes just simply will not fit in here. Storage solutions, here we come. Next, directly off the closet is the bathroom. It's a great size, and I love this mirror with the added storage that goes all the way at the top. We're thinking that we'll have to add an over-the-toilet shelf to make room for things like towels since there's no linen closet in this apartment, and I'm anticipating many trips to Muji or IKEA to optimize this under-sink storage. But this will fit all of our toiletries easily. The interesting thing about this bathroom is that you can also access it from the den, which I'll show you next. So it's kind of an ensuite / not interesting design choice. But if you want privacy, you have to make sure that you close both doors. So let's walk our way over to the den, which is where I'll be putting my desk and doing a lot of my talking head YouTube videos. This room will basically fit the essentials: a desk, a chair, and sometimes my video lights. But despite being tiny, this den has a closet. This was a great added bonus for me because it will actually fit all of my camera gear, my C-stands, my lights, and I should be able to sneak in a few more blazers and off-season clothing in here too. The thing about this apartment is that there's not a lot of storage in general, but we have a ton of vertical storage, so that's the thing that we're gonna have to be figuring out. And then finally, circling back off the den, we have probably my favorite thing about the unit, which is in-suite laundry. We've been doing coin laundry for the last 8 years, so you can imagine my excitement about having a laundry in unit. This is luxury on luxury, and I am so excited to have them. The machines themselves take up a ton of closet space though, so we're planning on getting a few bins to store extra linens and our laundry supplies up top here. So I hope you enjoyed the tiny Toronto apartment tour and got a good sense of what it may be like to live in a condo in Toronto. If you like this video and watched the whole thing, leave me a little house emoji in the comments. And if you want to see more minimalist home content, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next Sunday.